Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today's beer is actually, it's not a craft beer, it is Japanese. It's from one of the Japanese major brewing companies, and there are four: Asahi, Kirin, Sapporo, and Suntory. And today's beer comes from Asahi, and it is a fairly new one. It is called Asahi Nama Beer Kuro Nama, and on the label is exactly what it says: Asahi Nama Beer Kuro Nama, and that means Nama means draft and or fresh, and Kuro is black, in this case dark, and they call it a Munich type beer, which would mean a Munich dark lager, but it's not really that, as we'll see. It's what's called a dark lager international premium, which is similar to that Munich style, but beers that use adjuncts and maybe even coloring in it. So, and as we'll see, this beer does have adjuncts. It has the ingredients include foreign and domestic produced malt, hops, rice, and cornstarch. And Asahi does use rice and cornstarch in many of their beers. Kind of surprised to see them put it in a dark beer, but it's their habit, and they do that. This beer was actually was originally launched in 1982, along with the regular Asahi Maru F, which was also discontinued when Super Dry came out. So in 1982, this one came out, and in 2015, it was discontinued with the launch of the beer called Asahi Super Dry Dry Black. And as far as I know, that came actually in 2012. So I think the two were going at the same time for a while, but in 2015 they discontinued it. And recently they brought back their Maru F, which had been a popular beer, but when Asahi Super Dry came out in the mid 1980s, they decided to make that one only a draft beer. So that was the beer that you got in restaurants or bars, and Asahi Super Dry was the one you got in cans. So confusing, yeah, I suppose. But in any case, shall we give this one a look? The symbol for this, and the same on the Asahi Maru F, is a phoenix, and they call it the Lucky Phoenix. And maybe lucky for Asahi. In a report I saw recently, they said that black beer or dark beer in Japan is growing 10% a year, which is kind of special because beer overall is not growing in Japan. Okay, so we give this a go. So this was released originally in 2021, November, but we didn't see it in the part of Japan where I live until just recently. In fact, this month in February they brought it out and promoting it quite a bit. You see it everywhere. Okay. And I'm not sure if this symbol is an F with a maru around it or not. It kind of looks like it to me. So maru meaning circle F. I guess the F might be for Phoenix. I don't know. Okay, so it is very dark brown, kind of reddish edges, with a finger of frothy tan head. This isn't really grabbing much here. Okay, the aroma. Okay, right away we get a little, of course, dark roast malt, maybe some dark fruit, touch of coffee. Seems a bit thin though, overall. It's not really pressing in on the sensory organs. Yeah. Okay. It's a nice dark roast. Again, dark fruit. flattens out and in mid palate kind of cuts off. And I think that's the effect of the starch in the rice to lighten things up. And so Asahi Super Dry, for example, is a beer that's famous for having as little taste and aroma as possible, and having a crisp, dry edge. And of course, adjuncts will cut down on that sweetness, and aroma. It's not unpleasant. It just doesn't go anywhere at all. It has some nice dark roast in the initial, but then it really disappoints. From mid palate on, it's just kind of flat and nothing. Yeah, unfortunately. I'd say give it a try, see what you think. I haven't rated this. There are no ratings on Rate Beer yet, and on Untapped there were 18,309 ratings when I checked, and the average was pretty high, 3.42. I wouldn't give it that high, 3.42 out of 5. I suppose I could give this maybe a 3.1, something like that. Yeah, it's drinkable, but it's not something you really would like to stay with much. Once again, it's called Asahi Beer Kuro Nama, a dark lager, international premium dark lager from Asahi. And you see this everywhere in Japan, so if you are in Japan, you can give it a try quite easily. That's it for today. Please leave me a comment and subscribe to the channel. Okay? We'll see you. Bye-bye.